Everybody, and welcome back to another episode of That Gecks Out. A quick shout out to the Geckoverse community. I wanted to thank everybody for coming in. Hopefully, we'll get some of you on here live tonight. That being said, I wanted to let everybody know that tonight's guest is going to be Steven at SC Reptiles. He'll be joining us in just a second. This is a really good opportunity for you guys to share the link, like the link, invite people on if they want to listen and watch live. Start writing your questions or anything you have like that in the comments for me or for Steven. We will see you in 60 seconds. All right, guys, we got Steven on here, man. How you doing, Steven?
Good, brother. Thanks for having me on, man. Appreciate it.
No problem, bro. So, season 2025. I wanted to talk a little bit about some of those bulb tangerines I'm seeing. What do you got going on over there?
Uh, quite a few stuff, man. I got some gem bolds, some Mac bolds, a lot of bull tang stuff. Paired one of my favorite holdbacks to a bunch of females this year to see what he pairs best with, and then gonna go from there on what I keep and what I don't. What else? Have some lavender gem radar stuff that's pretty cool. I know you're not a big bell guy yet, but
I'm working on it. I'm working.
yeah, the gem snow radar stuff is actually pretty cool, man.
Okay.
I'm liking it. What's going on, Shane? That's it, man. Just pretty much the same stuff as last year. Just trying to refine some of my stuff and pick it up from there. Apologize if you hear noise outside, man, but people are painting the house. So
Nah, that's cool, man. You're getting your house painted?
yeah, we had a big the hose for the washer came off,
Okay.
and we didn't know, and then it started flooding the house, and it went down from the washroom to downstairs, and so our house is like fully under construction right now.
Yeah. Welcome in, Ken. Damn, that's a lot, bro. Did it affect the animals at all, or were they in an area?
Oh, thank God, man! It is in the living room right next to the gecko room. So
Yeah.
and it went through the vent. So thank God.
Did you have the electrical checked out and everything?
Yeah.
Right on. Let's see. On right now, we got Ken at Geckoworks. I see Shane. I see Clint, Northern Herper from Canada. I don't know everybody's name, but welcome in, everybody.
Welcome, guys.
So, obviously, we're in the. I would say right now is about mid-season. What do you think?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting to slow down for me a little bit.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. I'm getting some of that mid-season drag, man. A little bit of that, where it's like, okay, I'm doing the same thing over and over again. How's that going for you?
Actually, not too bad this year. I was really excited to start this year, so I think it's that excitement's still there.
Yeah.
But I'm noticing it because I still come down every day, like 5 times a day, check the incubator. So the drag hasn't hit that bad yet.
Okay. No, that's awesome, man. I was the same. Just because I'm in a new location, I sort of took the year off last year. I did a little bit of sales and I did a lot of pairing, but I took them all with me and kept, a lot of stuff. So I was really excited to finally get to utilize some of that stuff this year and work with them and stuff like that. But temperament wise, I've noticed that since the move, and I don't know if anybody can relate to this. So maybe in the future, if you guys see this video and you can find me on Instagram or something and hit me up. But I've had a lot of my males who, even in breeding seasons, they weren't very mean. But since they got put into a box to ship and then moved, I can't pick them up anymore without getting bit. So have you ever experienced anything like that, or I don't know if you've ever moved with
It's funny
animals?
you bring it up, but I have a Halloween mask from Joe Yingling, and he's never bit or tried to bite me, but you can tell like
Yeah.
they're kind of like more like stay away from me. And one
Okay.
day, my fiance sends me a picture of the Halloween mask in her hand, like inside the kitchen. She's playing with it, and I'm like, out of all my geckos, you pick up that one. And she's like, why is it mean? I'm like, not yet, but it's gonna bite you one day. And
Yeah.
then the day we're in here, and she's like, oh, this is the one. And she, as soon as she opened the tub,
Yeah.
homeboy just like launched at her, and I'm like, I told you it was gonna happen.
I hope I don't butcher this name, but I just saw that I think it's Javante just came in here. I wanted to say what's up. Um, with the ones that bite, I've noticed like I'll grab one of Bubba's lids.
Uh-huh.
So like this one got warped in the move by the sun. I can't use it anymore. And once 3D print gets warped, it's pretty much garbage, right? But I repurpose a lot of stuff. So I'll pick this up with my hand through here and I'll set it in front of the animal. And like I have a Halloween mask from Yingling too, and he bites. So when I do that though, he's chill, bro. He'll walk up onto the platform. I literally walk him over, set him down nice and gently, and then I just leave him alone. And I clean the tub and get it all sanitized. Once it's all set back up, I literally just do this to him. It's funny that you brought the Halloween masks up because the
Yeah, that's
bandits
fun.
and the Halloween masks are the ones that always bite.
Yeah, I think all bulls in general, man.
Yeah, both. Yeah, that's probably a good point. But um, yeah, he walks right up here. He won't bite my fingers, and then he'll let me set him down, and he'll walk. I'll just be like kind of calm. Uh, we got Angel in the crowd. He says, "Just bite him back." That's what I do. I,
Little
I,
baby.
I think he should take a video, or I'm not going to believe that.
No, I love to see that.
So, what about anything surprising, unexpected, or funny going on with your hatchlings this year?
Um, no, nothing funny, but I've had just like that. We're talking about my house being under construction or whatever. They had to come in, and all of our insulation got wet, so they had to bring in a bunch of fans, and I
Okay.
guess they overloaded one of the circuits or whatever. So I was at work all day, and I come home and like I go in the gec room, and it's illuminated with the blue uh, herpstat thermostats, and nothing was on. And I was like, holy fuck, my fucking incubators dropped down to like 70 degrees. And it happened like, dude, I had to be at work in the morning, and I just kept like every hour coming back downstairs to check on it, and it kept turning off. So I was like, dude, screw the house. I unplugged all the fans, and that's it, dude. I was like, my eggs are more important than the fans right now.
What's this guy say? They can smell bitch, right? I actually get that too. So if you're scared, um, Brennan Jones, welcome. He says it's Steve.
What's up, brother?
So when you talk to Brennan, is that how he says your name, like on the phone every time?
I've only talked to Brendan once on the phone actually,
Yeah,
but we're in each other's DMs quite a bit.
that sounded a sort of kind of a way, but I'm gonna let it slide. You definitely didn't, say what was said last time that had me and you off screen.
Oh
So
yeah,
that's
no.
good. That was good.
Hopefully that don't happen again, dude. To report it this time.
Yeah. Unexpected's over here, man. I had one, and it's actually not a bad thing to bring up, but so I've never lived in the snow before. And I mean, I was in a dead sleep. No kidding. It was snowing. I remember in my room, I have a thermometer right over here on the wall when I'm not painting. And I walked out of the room and it said the room was like 65 degrees. And I thought, damn, like I'm done. It's midnight. It's 65 in here. They're on heat tape. They're going to be okay. And then I walked out. I went to bed, and in a dead sleep, like math happened. And it was like, hey, it got down to 65. It's snowing. It's going to get down further in that room. The heat tape, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so that was unexpected because I was like, that heat tape is normally 75 to 90,
Yeah.
and so it's only got that little bit to jump. But right now it's working on 30 extra degrees.
Yeah.
And my thought in my head was, "You're an AC guy. How did you not think of heating?" And I flew out of bed, woke up my wife, ran downstairs. I'm pulling tubs open and nothing's really happening. I thought they're all on fire, they're burning, and it wasn't that bad. I got it before it got that bad, but it was getting hot in there. And so that's something that I feel like people should talk about. If you live in an area where there's
Hmm.
snow and the room can get a little colder, just keep in mind that your heat tape has to work harder to get up to 90 degrees. And
Yeah.
if your heat tape heats up hotter than normal, it could be overheating those cages. But that was something that was extremely unexpected here. And I mean, I thought of it, but it was almost too late. What if I didn't wake up?
Hmm.
So I was grateful for that, and that I do math in my head while I'm asleep. But um, yeah, other than that, man, incubation. Have you done anything different this year, incubation wise? Any incubation?
No, I use the sea serpents. As you can see, the hot box incubators,
Yeah.
and I had the VE thermostats it came with, and I had so much like temperature fluctuations with that. So I ended up just switching out to. I had to switch um, thermostats twice. So I
Okay.
switched it to the Herbstat, and then it took like a couple weeks to whatever it has to do to calculate it right, and then now I have zero issues.
Okay.
So Herbstat for the win, man. I always recommend those.
Yeah. Now you did have a mishap with incubating, but it didn't have to do with the incubators. It had to do with your trays that you're using to
Yeah.
incubate. So you got to tell everybody, where did you get the idea for trays?
Actually, Brett messages me about it. Bayside. It's always
Yeah.
Bayside. He's like, dude, you're wasting so much space. Get these, and I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
I'll try it out. And I've never, and since I've been breeding, I've never ever used trays.
Right.
So this time I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna try it out. So I bought these ones off Amazon, and they're cool. You can hold more eggs, but like I was telling you, I did a black knight pairing to a tangerine, and they're both supposed to have no heads. And one day I come down, there's like six babies in the tray, and they're all out of the, all of they're not supposed to be. So I saw a tremper in that black knight, and I'm like, dude, losing it.
Yeah.
I'm like, both of these animals are wrong. Like, what the hell's going on? But I ended up
Yeah.
figuring out which was which. So,
So mine, the trays I use, they're sealed. Like the animals can't get out of their square.
mhm,
But like you, I had 5 to 8 hatch at once, and I thought, as soon as I open this, what's what? It's all gonna move. It's gonna scatter, and I'm just
yeah,
fucked. I was like, excuse my language, but like I was like, oh my god. So I
yeah,
remember getting my phone. I'm taking pictures of the top just so I can kind of get like which females, because it's all written on the top, right? And then
mhm,
hopefully I get like a phenotype I can lock in. Now, luckily on that one, and I've done trays every year, but I've never had that many hatch at once.
yeah,
So luckily in that one, literally they sat there like I'm not moving. I lifted the lid very slow, and I didn't lose anybody. They stayed still until I pulled them out. They squeak at you and they yell and whatnot. But yeah, that was kind of, for incubation wise, that was a little bit of a thing. I've never had that many come at once, and it was a weird day. But I had 18 hatch that day, but just 8 in the morning, and it was like, wow. So now we have a couple of questions. Want to know how my epoxy's going here? The epoxy's good, man. I did the room. I would recommend highly that you get some sort of a fan, like an induction fan, and I can even put one up online that I got. It has a tube. I put the tube in the room and the fan outside, so it sucks the air through the tube and throws it outside. Because even though it says indoor and low to no odor, that's a lie, bro. It smells your whole house up. So if you're
mhm.
not doing your garage, it smells the whole house up. But it's looking good. It feels good under your feet. I do have to wear shoes in here now, but and then Brendan wants to know, what temp do y'all keep your heat tape at? I'm 88 to 89 degrees. What about you?
I have mine like 91.
91.
Yeah,
So similar, like right
yeah.
around the same. And then, have you noticed any temperature fluctuations on your incubation, like in your incubators?
No, not yet. It hasn't. I want to bring that up. It hasn't got too hot here yet. it's
Okay.
still like rainy and gets cold some days. But when it does, somewhere like inland, and
Yeah.
so it gets hotter out here. And like during these summer days, like I even turn off the racks. Like if it's 95, 96 out,
Yeah.
I'll turn
You
the
don't need
racks
to
off
turn it.
and they
Yeah.
don't need it. And then at least it prevents more heat from coming in the room, so the incubators don't
Yeah.
overheat. So like right now, racks are off. It's kind of a hot day today.
Gotcha. Gotcha. It says cold in Cali. Yeah. Right.
It's cold, bro. 65 degrees, cold for us, bro.
Yeah. And then Ken chimed in. He said, I got to turn down my tape during the winter due to heat in the house. Yeah, exactly, man. That was a lesson learned. My brain did put it together, but it was almost too late. Thank God for that, man. Now, incubation here has been pretty much a breeze. I double checked. I pulled the incubators apart because I got the sea serpent ones. I
Mm-hmm.
checked the fans. I bought 2 backup fans just in case. They're not very expensive. So if I got to wire them in, I can, And then, but other than that, bro, they're good. I did try something new this year, and I'll bring it up. But I wanted to see if you've done it, and then I want to try another thing just to see what happens. But so I waited 30 days, and then I moved a tray of females. Once the last one that went in the tray is at 30 days, I stuck them in the male incubator. Obviously, they do hatch a little early,
Yeah.
which is fine. But the goal, I have them all marked, is to see if they're actually females later, like everybody tells me they're going to be. I want to see about doing a 30-day thing and moving the males into the female to see if I can stall some from being born so quickly, from hatching
Mm-hmm.
so quickly. Maybe I don't have room for them. Got to get some cells off the ground. I kind of want to see if it that normal 37 to 40 day
That's
delays.
hard. That'll be cool if it works, actually.
Yeah, I think I should try it. What do you think?
When you get that drag, you're like, all right, let's delay
Yeah.
you guys a little bit.
So
I've never done that. I've never like even the females to the male. I've never done it. I
yeah.
was talking to someone. If they want to say who they are, they can. But who was doing that, and they're all the geckos that hatched with that method were like came out pale so much where they were looking like snows. And he got one of the geckos for me. I'm like, dude, there's no snow in that. Like I'm 1,000,000% there's no snow in it. And everyone's like, dude, that's a snow. And I'm like, it's something you're doing. And then after a while, he started noticing a pattern. Like every time he would do that, they come out like super pale. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't doing that no more. I've never done it. You shouldn't do it anymore.
I'm not posting that one. Oh, Ken. All right. That's not going up on screen, buddy. Sorry. Yeah, no. So you're saying if you move the males into the female incubator and cool them down, they come out less colorful?
I think he was doing female to male
Okay.
to hurry them up, but they were coming
Gotcha.
out like super dull. And I was
Okay.
like, yeah, that's what I do. I don't mess with whatever works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah, yeah. So egg binding, right? Obviously, everybody has kind of seen that we got Ron Tremper in the background, kind of getting a little bit more active and
Yeah.
talking more and stuff like that. Have you seen any of that?
I've seen it, man. It's hilarious,
So,
dude.
what did you think about anal mints?
I actually ordered some for my next show, dude. See if they sell. Had him sign
Not,
it. Had him sign every little canister it comes with.
oh man, was that real? Was that really him? Some people were saying it was because like okay, the
Dude, it's
graphic chick
him.
talking,
It's
the
him,
AI
bro.
chick looked like Rebecca and
It
sounded
does.
like her.
I think he has a
But
crush on her. That's why.
oh, okay. Well,
Yes,
he
it is.
recreated her in a way, but I was
Yeah.
like, let's see.
Dude, he's going crazy, man. Good for him, man. He's
Yeah,
retired.
yeah. So it was really him that posted that
I'm
commercial.
pretty sure, man. I think he's just trying to.
I was laughing hard, bro.
Yeah.
That got me. I was like, all right, this guy's cool, man. He's funny
Ron-
as shit. I watched that. How many times did you watch it?
a lot, dude. Uncle Ron's a freak, dude.
Yeah, I know. I commented, somebody come get their grandpa. And he
Yeah, I
liked it, like immediately liked it, bro. I was like, all right.
yeah. I don't know.
Damn. He had me cracking up with that one. But the Patreon. So he's got the Patreon going. I'm hearing more and more people are like donating or subscribing to it.
Mhm.
Talked to Ken earlier today. He was telling me he was going to probably do it. And there was something on there about egg binding that I wanted to talk about. So he mentioned how you can get a specific gauge needle
Hmm.
and you can hold the head and the animal. I think you need to be like somebody or maybe have help. I don't know. But did you see what I'm talking about?
I saw. I didn't see his actual post, but
Yeah.
Vanessa from Sacred Heart. I know she's like a vet tech or something, and uh,
Okay.
she told me she's. I don't know if she's done it, but I'm like, dude, if I ever need it, I ain't gonna do it. I'm bring him to her house, and she's only like 20 minutes from me, so she can do all that
I
for me.
gotcha. So, yeah, I'm a personally. It seems like something that would absolutely work, though, right? Like you inject into, you get it into the egg, and then you remove
Suck it all
the
out.
stuff
Yeah.
from the egg. He said there would be like a little bit of blood if you read through it all the way, and then the animal will be fine. It'll pass the broken egg after that. Honestly, brother, I exercise mine. I sit there and hold them and make them climb on my shoulders, and or I'll put when I had that pool going, I used to put them in there and make them walk around. And usually after that, they'll pass them. But that was interesting. Is that something you would get into?
I wouldn't. I don't. I don't trust myself with a syringe, and especially with an animal. So, um, usually I like to keep him humid or like really humid. So
Okay.
if I've had maybe like two. You know, I noticed egg binding. I see it more in overweight females. I've
Yeah.
never had an issue with it until I got some geckos in from other breeders, and I've noticed they're a little bit too big for their age.
Okay.
And dude, it's just it never fails like egg binding.
Yeah.
Two actually from one breeder I got in, and they're really. I spent like over $600 on each gecko, and they both from the same breeder. They came in a little bit too big, and then I tried to like put them on a little diet, but dude, they both got egg bound, and it's
Yeah.
just it's frustrating. That's why I don't like to. You know, a lot of people like think they're feeding their geckos every day is healthy, but it's really not.
Yeah. I'm going to touch on that in just a second. We had a question here. It says, what's the incubator temp for males? I typically do 88 to 89.
Same.
Yeah. Just want to make sure we answer that one. Yeah, egg binding I've noticed comes. So there's a lot of people that'll tell you like, oh, if it's not 2 years old, it's too young, which is
Mhm.
false.
Yeah.
The animals are not humans, obviously, and I heard somebody tell a whole story of like, oh, that's like trying to get a 14-year-old girl pregnant, and I'm like, no, it's not, because that's a
Yeah.
human and also a mammal, and this is a lizard. So, but anyway, they still do have things that you need to consider, and a year and a specific weight and all that. I get that there are guidelines, and sometimes that's fine. But
Hmm.
I have noticed that some younger geckos most likely egg bind more often than if they get a little more mature.
Hmm.
So maybe there could be, I don't know, like a little bit of an education there. But so like if you do pair the animal under a year old, he says that reference is wicked, Joe. It
Who
wasn't
told you
mine,
that?
bro.
Who told you that, bro?
Yeah, I've heard it, but yeah. So basically, some pairings, like if the animal's not a year old, some females will be just fine. They even start laying eggs and they're not even paired up. But others, maybe they need a little more time, and I think it's an individual case.
Mhm.
What do you think about that? You think age and size matters?
And yeah, for sure, dude. I mean, it depends too, like what lines you're working with, because like let's say if you have Afghanicus, they're going to
Yeah,
be tend to be smaller. They probably won't even hit 60 grams. Even doesn't matter how
yeah,
old they are, or some bandits are a little bit smaller. So it just depends on the line. As long as the geckos looks healthy, has a good structure to it, I think you should be fine.
yeah.
And for
I
sure,
agree with that, and that comes from not being overweight too. Like having that good structure. Um, uh, Yeah, I can agree with that. You've never had anybody like compare the gecko age to like teenagers and all that?
well,
No, I've heard that argument like 10 times, man. And I'm always like, because like there's that big word, the something morphism, anthropomorphism, where it's where you put your dog in a sweater, even though it has
yeah.
fur.
Oh, dude, that's how my chick is with her dog.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a
That's
human, dude.
yeah, it's a little baby. It's a little
Hmm.
human. All right. So supplements, vitamin A when you're before you start pairing females, do you up the vitamin A supplement, or what do you?
I do. I did it a lot this year because of
Yeah.
osteoform and vinate being hard to get.
Yep.
So I hit up John, and he actually has the method he uses now.
Yep.
I forget what it is exactly, but I did that, and I had vitamin A, and I just mixed it a little bit more into there. And if I notice some females are like maybe
Yeah.
not giving me fertile eggs, I'll throw some more in or something.
Yeah. So this year before season, I did a whole regimen of deworming just to be certain
Mhm.
for all the females that I paired or planned on pairing. And then if later on in the season I had more females I was going to pair, I put them through the deworming and then I cooled them down. I also gave them probiotics like extra. And there's this, it's an avian brand that I got from a friend, Joe Yingling. It's like a bird type probiotic, and it cleared everything up. Everything was looking healthy. I started a new gut load, and I started the gut load after. But anyways, the deworming, the probiotics, and then the cooling down period. And I literally was like putting this whole room together. They were not very needy at that time. I was doing extra cleaning for the females, extra food if they needed it, wanted it, and everybody looked good. So I went ahead and I only had one egg bound female this year. And I haven't had many anyways, but I had one. She was immediately fine after that. You know, she just stopped creating eggs, but it actually worked out pretty good. I think prepping them is a big one. Do you do like any prep for yours before you pair, or what do you do?
Um, I just like to make sure, for sure, make sure they have the access to other vitamins and stuff. Like I have a separate dish, and it's funny, dude. Like you see, like they know when they need it. So
Yeah,
but before breeding, I up it, make sure they have it, full all the time. But even during breeding season, like if I'm cleaning and I notice, they're geckos, they'll step all over it and drop it, or they'll poop in it, give them a new little dish. But dude, they'll like seek it out. Like as soon as I fill that bowl up, they're like straight to it, and they're like biting it pretty much.
yeah,
As far as like pre-work, nah, I don't really. I've never really dewormed anything. I haven't had to yet. But well, again, this is pretty my second season back and
gotcha.
little breaks.
During season, I had three females start to look pretty rough, and they would not stop dropping eggs. Have you had that happen?
Yeah, actually, one really nice bull tangerine I had, and dude, she got so. Last year she got kind of bad, but I got her back up to weight, and she looked good. I wasn't gonna breed her this year, but she looked good. She looked healthy, so I was like, I'll pair her up.
I've
And
done
dude,
that. Yeah.
yeah, this season she just got so bad. Like she
Okay.
looked bad, dude. So like, it sucks, but some females just can't. So she's retired for sure, but some
Gotcha.
females they just can't take it, man.
Yeah. No, I in the middle of season, probably right around I think it was February or early March, talking to Seth, and he brought up this stuff called oh, it's going to do that to me. It's basically it's for gut loading, and
Hmm.
I'll think of the name in just a second here, but I changed my gut load to that stuff, and within three feeds, all three of those females were back up, damn near to pre-pairing weight. Like it's like this magic stuff, right?
Is it a powder
And
or?
yeah, yeah, it's I can go grab it. How I was gonna ask you, I'll go get the bag. How long do you normally take for your females to kind of bounce back after breeding,
All right.
after dropping eggs?
Depends. I like to. My majority of my staple is mealworms, but during breeding season, I switch into some superworms. So every now and then, I'll order supers, and
Uh,
that actually gets them. I really don't like feeding supers, but during breeding season, I will to the adults only, and it
yeah.
actually gets pretty up back to weight.
Okay.
But I'm interested in that gut load, dude. I've been trying to change my
Feeder
stuff.
fuel.
Oh
I don't know
yeah,
if y'all can see this, but
let
it's
me
called
think.
feeder fuel. These are $20, man, and you can gut load like a 20,000 mealworms, probably like 7 or 8 times with a little bag like this. But This stuff right here is, I don't know what it's doing, but I literally let them eat it all, dust, and then I sift through the mealworms, and good to go after that. So, but yeah, no, honestly, like I had them come right back up to weight, and it's been good, bro. Watching them do it, and they're still dropping, they're still dropping eggs. So
Yeah.
watching them come right back was kind of cool. I don't know, for me anyway.
Speaking of mealworms, dude, do you have a backup if Rainbow like stops producing? I don't know if you noticed, but a couple weeks ago or last week, they were like completely out of large and medium mealworms, and dude, I had to buy smalls and
Yeah,
for the babies, and there's like did
yeah,
nothing.
Justin. I don't use Rainbow. I not anymore anyway. Sorry. Since I moved here, I have a local guy. He's 30 minutes away.
Oh,
Justin Meyer from Midwest Mealworms. He's got a whole facility, ventilation, everything. He works in there like it's his job, and he's pretty cool. He's a little more. Everyone else is more expensive than Rainbow, but probably there's a
mhm.
reason for that. I don't mind paying it. But yeah, I use Midwest. He's a very nice guy, very attentive. He doesn't get back to you immediately, but he always eventually will. And but yeah, it's he's cool. I haven't used Rainbow since October of last year, so
Mm.
I haven't experienced any of that, but I have seen it.
Does he have the numbers? Like, let's say we
I,
all
I
switch.
would get a hold of him. I'll get you his contact,
Yeah.
and I would get a hold of him. I actually might even have him on here soon. I talked to him the other day. But yeah, he does supply a lot of chicken farms, so that is a good question.
Okay.
I would get a hold of him and just see. But Rainbow, talking to Reese the other day and John, and they both got like really bad batches.
Really?
So John got it twice, from what I understand. I mean, you're talking. If I remember correctly, and I don't want to put words in his mouth, but like yesterday, 10% of the mealworms survived. Reese, he said that the FedEx almost threw his box away because it smelled so bad. So I don't know what they're doing, but like somebody was telling me, what do you say it? Somebody was saying that they, obviously they're putting too many in a bag. I don't
Mhm.
work with mealworms, so I don't have anything, but this is another person. It's not either me or you, but like they're saying they put too many in the bag and they throw off heat, and then
Yeah.
obviously they're not ventilated correctly. But I've never seen them not use the same boxes, so I don't
Yeah.
know what that speaks to. Um, there, for some reason though, FedEx, not Rainbow, but FedEx is routing through Phoenix, and I don't understand that because it's
That's where it's like
105
dying.
degrees right now.
Yep.
If your box comes off an airplane and sits on a tarmac in Phoenix, everything's dead.
Hmm.
So that's kind of a dumb thing on their part, FedEx's part, I
Yeah.
should say. I'm not dragging Rainbow through any mud or
Yeah.
nothing. I actually like those guys. So let's see here. We've got some new people in. Scott, welcome. Brett, what's up, man? We talked a little bit of shit about you earlier. Reese, welcome. That's that's it. Let's see. Caribbean mealworms I got right here from Geckoworks, is what I used. Yeah, you're in Alaska, dude.
I only live about an hour away from Rainbow, so um,
Do you go pick yours up?
I don't. I get them like next day, but my fiance actually works in Compton now, so
Okay.
if I need to, I can get them picked up. Um, but it's funny. The maybe like 2 shipments ago, I ordered superworms and mealworms, and they put them separate bags but same box. But the freaking superworms ate through the bag and got in the mealworm bag. And then so, dude, when saw the box on my front door, there's
Uh
like
huh.
a million superworms and mealworms all over my porch, and I wasn't pretty happy. Luckily I hit them up, and then they refunded me, so or gave me sort of credit at least. But
We're gonna do a new, real quick segment on the Geckoverse, that Gecks Out podcast. We're gonna both try to read this and see if we can do our best Scott impression. All right. So I went to pick up from Rainbow once. That was cool. That's how I'd say it. How do you think he would say that? Because I could hear him say it.
Scott, he
I
talks.
went to pick up a rainbow once. That
Yeah,
was cool.
pretty fast. That's pretty fast.
Was that? Yeah, right. But yeah, let's see. Rainbow mealworms are gay.
Hey, you know what? If they identify as gay, that's up to them, brother.
Yeah, dude, that's not my business, bro. They're from Compton, so maybe be careful, Florida. Just saying.
Gay and gangster.
But yeah. So hatchlings, bro. What's popping out right now that you're pumped about?
Um, I have a lot of bold stuff, dude. I'm really excited about the my Halloween mask to extreme bold. They're coming out with some like crazy patterns, so I'm excited about that. You know, I love all bold stuff.
Yeah,
The gem bolds are coming out pretty nice. I crossed a gem bold, white and yellow gem bold to a Halloween mask,
yeah.
and they're coming out super nice, dude. Bold tangerines, like we all have. I'm excited about those, but those you kind of have to wait until they get a little bit bigger.
I gotta
See
post.
what's good. Yeah, that's
Uh,
like a Diddy party.
like a Diddy party. Yeah, I'll post that one for you, Ken. I can't post that last one. But yeah, so no, that's awesome. Anything that you're considering holding back already?
Um, Honestly, only like one or two right now. I'm
Okay,
letting everything grow out this time. Last season, I held back like 15 of them.
okay.
So this time I'm gonna let them grow out a little bit, and then I'll pick from there.
I got you. I got so I paired Brigand. He's a kind of an aberrant pattern, a jungle pattern
Hmm.
Bengal that I got from Rudy in 2021, and he throws fire. Like he's himself not very orange, but his offspring can be orange with the most
Hmm.
dull female, and everything he does is just amazing. He proved at Eclipse this year, but even his Eclipse babies have thrown some anomalies, so I'm really liking some of those. I posted one for sale, and I think I already have an inquiry on it, but I'll check in a minute. He he's one of my favorites, man, just because the year that I paired him before, he everything he touched was gold, and I gave him a year off because I didn't really need anything from him at that point. But so Brett wants, how's that lemon frost project going, Joe? It's going in somebody else's facility, bud, like we talked about. And also, Brett, like real talk, buddy, don't invest in those, bro. Keep your 4 grand, your $4,000, and apply it to maybe those snakes you're working on. I highly recommend. Brett from Bayside Geckos does not buy lemon frost. I highly recommend that. So I'm just
Dude, Bengal lemon frost? Are you kidding me? Those are gonna be fire.
Bengal frost.
Bengal frost.
Oh my god, Bengal lemon frost. You can like do it as one word. No, I'm not.
Uh,
I'm good, bro. I'm not. I should put together another yellow type animal, call it lemon frost, and just say the old school lemon frosts are off the table. We don't do that anymore.
no.
No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, fucking Brett, man. Thanks, dude. How's your lemon frost, bud? Neither Steven nor I do lemon frost for everybody watching the show. So don't think that's true. Brett is a liar guy. Anyway, where was I? Dude, do you even remember?
We're talking about hatchlings. Have you hatched out any holdbacks yet, other than demo?
Yes. Demo's my big guy. Yeah, he's staying. He's got a couple of siblings that are starting to look like him. He's obviously the fire one out of all of them, but they're not bad. So I personally have. So one of them that came out is actually that I'm holding back because when I'm telling you like how orange this animal is on top
Mhm.
of extremely jet black bolds, I can't brag about it enough. And the male came from you. So the it's you did a Bengal cross, which I believe had some like a little bit of clown in it from
Oh, that
base.
was from Brett. Yeah, it was.
Yeah, and then somehow the clown came. All that came from Bubba too, like some of it,
I
and
think
then
so.
to a monarch,
Yeah.
right? Okay, I paired that one to. I'm in love with the Afghan this year. I don't know why, but something about Afghan tangerines are just everything to me. So I paired that one to an Afghan tang, and what I got back, I'll be photographing it real soon, and you'll see, man. I mean, it's not red. It's like this deep orange that I'm
Oh,
seeing,
you're
and
talking
like
about
the
it.
blacks are just black, bro. They're insane.
I
So,
kept that male that you got from me. I kept his clutch mate, and
okay,
she's the same way, super orange, and the black is just like, and she holds the, and most bull tangerines, like other than a couple lines, they all dot out or like polka dot out,
okay,
but these ones are keeping that black and the bold, and they're
yeah.
awesome. So I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I want to be honest. What you just said, I hate when they polka dot out like that. You know,
Mhm.
I don't know why I do, but I just don't like it. What do you? What are your thoughts on it?
I don't like them. That's why I only have one firebolt. I think firebolts do it the most. They all polka dot out, and I don't like it.
What does this guy say? So Reese says lemon crypto frost at Joe's house. Dick. Lemon frost enigmas. Damn liar. Yeah, see, Brett's got my back. He called. They're lemon frost enigmas, Reese. Duh, man. Bayside knows. But no, but yeah, do something with that Monarch line. I got a Monarch Tremper from John last year, 2 years ago, something like that. Um, and I put him to anything Bengal and Het for Tremper that I had,
Hmm.
and those babies are coming out insane. So the first one came out, and it was kind of in a jungle pad. I have to remind myself to not say aberrant because aberrant's like I've been even talking about that with Brett lately. But
Sound like
aberrant's the word for
sound like
jungle.
Uncle Ron soon, dude.
Yeah, jungle is the leopard gecko word, right? But um, what? This guy hates Tremper. Tremper, he must be a Bell guy,
Bell Mafia guy, dude.
huh? Just kidding. It was a heart.
Yeah.
Um, so what was I saying? So like the jungle pattern one came out good. All the rest of them are striped, and personally, I think they're some of the coolest Trempers I've seen. I don't really need but one of them, so I'm gonna be grow. I like to grow them out a little bit, get them up there before I take pictures and post them. Um, Bell Mafia. What did this guy say?
Angel said bells are dirt.
Damn, bro.
I have both. I have both, so I can't.
Yeah, I have some this year, and I definitely the ones I got I like a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest though. Like I'm on an Afghan kick. I for some reason lately that's my standard. So I like it, and some of the bells I got are Afghan tangerine bells,
Hmm.
and they look badass. But they look badass because they're Afghan. Um, then there's the oh look, somebody just mentioned them. That's funny. Afghan tangerine bells.
Dude, the one I forget who
Brendan.
posted it, but I think she got it from Brett. It was
Yeah,
after
same.
radar. Dude, that thing was crazy.
Yeah.
Those I like. They look like bull tangs for but yeah. Man, that's crazy.
These guys are in there talking
And
about some
he's
dirt.
not even in here and it's getting crazy.
Yeah. Um, no, man. But I do like the Afghan bells that I got, and I actually look forward to working with them. Um, Brett, I got a couple that he calls Baglani. Have you heard of those?
Is that like just it's a different
I
locale or
think it's
something,
the name
right?
of the breeder who put them together. Well, Brett heard me say it, so I'm sure he'll type
Yeah,
something
we're
in
gonna
here
have to
in a
type
minute. But
something.
yeah, something about Baglani ones. I have it written down just in case. But let's see. Angel says butt plugs and anal mints. You guys in your butt. Dude. Uncle Ron like started some shit. Butt plugs and anal mints.
Influence he has on all those gecko breeders, dude.
I know, man. That's okay though. That's okay. He earned it.
Yep.
Um,
Probably has.
Baglani Province.
Oh, yeah.
Where the hell's that at? Is that where you're from?
It's just different, like a different locale.
He's
Right?
like Baglani Province, dude. And then the guys are like Bell Mafia, and they do their hand signals.
There you go.
This is what it looks like when gangbangers do their shit. I'm like, "What's up, bro?" That's what I think I see in my head. I'm just like, "Oh yeah." So Let's see. Originally imported by Chad Ramsey. Chad Ramsey's a cook, isn't he?
Oh, Chad
Gordon
Ramsay, he
Ramsay.
actually had a real nice line of tangerine
Yeah.
oil.
No, I know. I was Gordon Ramsay. Let's see here. The community. So, who do you got your eye on right now? Who's hatching the goods?
Dude, I was gonna actually tell you that a bunch of people are posting some nice stuff, dude.
Yeah.
Of course, Angel Brett's always posting some sick stuff.
Yeah.
Flux, it's his first year,
That's what
dude.
I was hoping you'd bring up.
Yeah, he bought I actually met him. He came to my house and picked up some geckos, and dude,
Yeah.
he picked up a monarch tramper, and that thing's just throwing heat, dude. And
Yeah.
he's a good example for all the new breeders, because I talked to him before he started buying stuff, and I'm like, dude, like,
Yeah. Yeah.
even if you don't have the money, don't just start spending on cheap stuff. Like, save it until you can get something good. And he did, and it's showing, dude. Like, he's
Yeah.
producing heat, dude. Nothing but heat.
Yep. Yeah, I don't do the what do you call it? I've heard a little bit of jealousy from others about that guy, and then I just kind of in one ear and out the other because I don't do that. I saw it and I was like, oh shit, what is
Yeah,
that?
nice
And
killing
then
him.
another one, and then another one, and I'm like, all right, keep going, because it's just it's he's producing heat right now, and we got a couple of those first year breeders that they kind of do really well when they get here, but I think they're the kind of guys that like start reading and researching. And I want to make it clear, I'm not talking about Angel. You're a second year now, so you don't count.
Yeah,
But
we're over Angel now.
yeah, we're over that guy. Firebolts, like, all right, no, firebolts are cool. Scatter pattern bolts.
Polka dot bowls, that's what we call them.
What's that?
The polka dot bowls.
Yeah, polka dot bolts. But all right. So hobby wise, man, a little while ago we were talking about the mid season drag. What sort of stuff fires you up that would help fire the hobby up a little bit in case anybody's experiencing that? We got
Um, Honestly, it's that, dude. I love seeing other people's stuff, man. Yeah, snakes, dude. If people are producing heat, like, it pumps me up, and I share it. If I like it, I share it. I don't share everyone's stuff, but if I like it, I'm gonna share it. And
yeah.
just seeing other people produce some nice stuff, that's cool to see. The podcast, dude. I think I've listened to every podcast that you made, all the other
Thank you.
podcasts that before this one was out. I listened
Yeah.
to those repeat, so stuff like that, dude. I wish there was more like content coming out, like
Yeah.
YouTube videos or
I've had a
less.
lot of what do you call it? Stuff like internal house projects going on. So there's not a whole lot of stuff for me to do right now, but I have some topics. I'll be throwing some stuff down soon. No, it's too late. Okay. But yeah, so but in-house projects, sorry, somebody knocked on my door and the dog went crazy. Um, what was I saying?
Yeah, you have some in-house projects that.
Yeah, I'm redoing my room up and stuff like that. But other than that, it's I have topics, and pretty soon I'll be back on point. I don't have a reason not to go week by week, so I'm probably going to go back to that or even more often because
Mhm.
the point of this podcast was to get on a FaceTime call with people, and even more than once a week. I just haven't had time. This was 2 weeks though, and so I'm like, I got to do something.
Yeah.
But so obviously, thank you for saying that, man. I I worked hard on it.
Yeah, no, dude. You guys have been doing a good job on this, so proud of it.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's see here. So, photos, cameras, man. I have learned more about photography this year than I have learned about reptiles. And I don't know if that's something you've ever experienced, but I don't like it. I don't know about you, but I don't.
It's
It's
hard,
not
man.
my thing. What are you doing with your camera?
It's hard. Actually, John's the one who I was taking pictures in the light box, and they were coming out a little too dark.
Okay.
Before I get started, we got to get rid of the Deli Cup pictures, though. I'm tired of seeing
I like them. I
We
like
can start
them.
a petition now. Get rid of the deli cup pictures.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding, Angel. Um,
Yeah.
but no, dude. Yeah, my pictures come out a little dark. So John hit me up one day and he's like, "Dude, try these settings on your camera."
Okay.
And I tried it, and my pictures are good now. And I just don't touch it. I don't fuck with it anymore. And
Yeah,
that's it.
I noticed that your pictures kind of stepped it up, but how frustrating can that be though? Like when you're not a photographer and you
Yeah,
don't, I don't have aspirations to be a photographer,
yeah.
but if you take cell phone photos, nobody's going to look at your shit, right?
Hmm.
It's just not going to happen. So, um, and some people argue and they think whatever, and I'm like, well, I mean, we don't need to argue. Just you take your cell phone pictures and I'll sell animals, you know, like
Yeah.
I prefer to like encourage people get a camera, something that does it,
Mhm.
and then get on YouTube, man, because you could type in a couple of things, get some inanimate objects, like mess around with the lighting. I gotta watch my mouth. Mess around with the lighting, and you could do a little bit better. This week, I learned about aperture.
Mhm.
I can't tell you for the life of me what that is, but I learned how to adjust it.
Yeah. Shane brought up a good point that there's a good podcast that Chris and John did about how they do their photos and stuff.
Yeah. John and Chris did a great episode about photography on that podcast. Okay. John and Chris. Chris Charlton.
Yes.
Okay. It says the triangle. Oh,
Triangle.
ISO. He's talking about ISO, aperture, and I don't know. Um, or he's talking about the podcast, but I haven't seen that one. I should actually take a look at it
I
because
was talking about the Laker defense, triangle defense.
everybody see this real quick.
It's hard to Photoshop on a phone.
Dang. Reese is saying it's easy for me to do that. Yeah. No, you just give it to your kid and tell her to do it. They know how to do everything now. Um, let's see here. Pronounce joy. So, community engagement wise, I've been doing a little more of that lately. I've had my phone ringing off the hook. I feel like lately, and before I will say I felt like I didn't have the ability to talk reptiles with people, and since the move, I get to talk all day because people
Yeah.
call all day, and I get to talk. I talked to Ken today for a couple of hours. Brett, he's like a lost dog, man. He calls me like while he's at work. It's really weird, but I answer the phone because I like the guy, and Reese knows what I'm talking about too. Like Brett will call him all day while he's supposed to be working, and then he's like, "Oh shit, my boss is here," and he get off the phone. He won't even say bye. But I don't know. And what about you, man? Do you spend any time on the phone talking about Leos and stuff with people?
I don't. I mean, I wish I did more, but I kind of
Yeah,
work a lot. But I talk to you every now and then. I know I always tell myself like when it's slow at work, I'm like I'm gonna call Joe and something happens, and
don't
then
do
you'll call me the next day. I'm like, dude, I was just about to call you.
it. Damn it.
Um,
Yeah,
I just mostly like group chats on Instagram, or
yeah,
that's where I get all my Leo talking points out.
yeah. Are you up for challenges?
You had to smirk when you said that, so I don't want to say yes.
So I know you're a police officer, and I wanted to actually. I kind of had a really cool idea. Have you ever sold an animal to somebody you've arrested?
No, dude.
It wouldn't be a conflict of interest if you did. Like I kind of thought about that before, and I was like, I wonder if I could challenge this guy to arrest somebody, and then like just kind of like name drop your side hobby,
Dude, you know
like
what's
all the
funny?
times.
I have a story about that.
Go ahead.
When my fiance was still with my department, she had to go and not arrest some lady. She was having like a mental health crisis. So we do like a 5150 hold.
Okay.
And during the hold, she was talking about how she likes reptiles and she has a pet leopard gecko. And then my fiance is like, "Oh yeah, my fiance breeds leopard geckos." Shows her my booth at Pomona, and she's like, "I was actually at your table a couple of weeks ago," and I was like, "Oh shit."
Hey, he's got a slogan for you to put on your car
Yeah,
too. Look at
don't
that.
sell drugs, sell geckos.
But yeah. Um, That's awesome, man.
Yeah, that was the only time like it's
Yeah.
mixed. But
All right, so challenge. We'll see if it's challenge accepted.
all
You
right.
have to arrest somebody for some bullshit. Like they probably deserve it, you know. And then like just keep name dropping that you do that on the side, like whatever. And see if they look you up and literally like sell them an animal. Like I want proof that you sold them an animal.
Dude, I'll try.
No?
I'll try it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Challenge accepted. Look at that. This guy says trade it for weed. This guy's an officer, bro. What the hell?
Weed's legal here now.
Right. Yeah. Same over here. I think. I don't know if it is where I live. I haven't looked it up. Um, well, that's pretty much all I got for today, man. I wanted to know, is there anything that you wanted to go over before we get off here? Otherwise, I got some advice for the hobby I wanted to go over. And is there anything you wanted to bring up?
Um, no, dude. I think we kind of, like you said, the FaceTime chat is pretty cool. I
Thank
think,
you. Yeah, I
yeah, I
thought
think
this
we hit
was
a couple of good points, and yeah,
yeah.
I'd love to hear your advice.
Cool, man. Well, hey, Steven, thank you. If you're not following Steven already, thank you for coming on, man. I do appreciate you for being here. Obviously, SC Reptiles is on Morph Market. He has an Instagram you all should be following. If you're not, fix that. Go to his Morph Market, follow his. You can follow people on Morph Market so you actually see their stuff more. Go follow SC Reptiles on Morph Market as well because he's in full swing. Um, the Leo community, man, a lot of improvements lately. I feel like there's been a lot of love coming out of the left wing, and people are talking, you know, like here and there that I never saw talk before, and I think that's really cool. Engagement is something that I know, you know, my co-host Reese is really concerned about, and he brought it up to me last week. Definitely is concerned about, you know, like, and I'm not trying to get likes on this video. So, I mean, just consider the words though. Like, I'm sure all of you are experiencing the thing where you post something really cool and you get like 1,000 views, 2 likes,
Yeah,
14 likes. You know, that can't feel very good. If you're in the Leo community, you know, and you're posting stuff, keep in mind that everybody else is too, and that could be something we improve on as a community. It's something that I'd like to definitely see. You know, where I'm trying to look at stories more. I know that I don't do that, so that's something where I'm improving. Stuff like that. I just think that we could be a little more engaging with each other. Positivity is not a really advice right now because I feel like that's already happening with a lot of people, and I'm definitely experiencing a lot of it, so that's good. Um, Mid-season drag, guys. I know that, you know, pulling them out of the incubator, photographing them, and everything is it's going to start to get to you. It's monotonous and you know, repetitive. Sit back and think about, hey, you know, why did I get into this? Maybe give yourself a couple of tiny wins, like I'm going to clean one rack today that I wasn't supposed to, so I can get a little bit ahead tomorrow. And then maybe only take one photo a day if you can help it. Do something to give yourself more of a I completed than I have to do this. I have to do this kind of a feel. And all those little completions, they might change your mindset just a little bit and help you out with that mid-season drag. So you could call them micro goals if you want to, but that's something I wanted to talk about. Maybe switch up some racks, reorganize your hatchling bins, do a couple of things, try a new camera angle. Anything you can to just get out of that, you know, funk that you might be in. So, because keep it going, man. I hate to see breeders get out of the hobby. Um, the more that we can invite in and help them with information and education, if they ask questions, answer the questions. If you don't want to answer the questions, push them over to Steven at SC Reptiles. He loves answering every educational question that he can.
for sure.
So definitely find him on YouTube and don't stop asking until he answers the questions. So, and if he doesn't answer the questions, put him in a group chat on Instagram with like 4 or
infamous
5 of your
exotics.
friends and ask him again, and then he will answer the question. But let's make it fun, guys. You know, hopefully there's no mid-season drag, but if you get it, reach out to some people and get some tips. Maybe try a couple of things I did. Get yourself out of maintenance mode, right? Maintenance mode is where it's going to go, and it's going to kill your hobby. So make it fun. Remember why you're doing this. Keep it going. And until next time, Steven, thank you, man.
No problem, bro. Thanks for having me on.
Yep, that gecks out, guys. We'll talk to you next time. Did a whole hour.
Almost.
Yeah.